kitchen. Glad you're joining me again. It's another beautiful day. Every day above ground and without corona is a beautiful day. I have a breakfast idea for you. I personally don't have breakfast until lunchtime because I do time restricted eating. I've been doing it for 4 years and I'm handling it really well. But you can have this for breakfast, for dessert, or any day, any time of the day. I'm making a baked porridge 4 ways. I can't have any oats. Normally you would make this with oats. We're going to prepare this today with some spelt flakes. And first up, I will show you the ingredients for the base. The ingredients for the base are spelt flakes, special porridge kind. You can use oats, of course. It will taste even better. Then some ground flax. I always freshly grind my flax because it turns rancid really quickly. So make sure you grind about a week's amount and store it in the fridge. Then my chufa flour. This is a roasted kind. Pinch of salt, some cinnamon to taste, some vanilla paste, some bananas for the fried bananas faster, and some milk. I'm using rice milk. Feel free to use coconut milk. I wouldn't use soy because of the flavor. And this maple syrup is just in case the bananas are not sweet enough. If I had riper bananas, I wouldn't need the maple, but most likely I'm going to use some maple syrup to caramelize the bananas. Next up, we're going to personalize the base for everyone in the household. So I'm making 4 different versions. There are many things you can do. You can use nuts, you can use seeds, you can use different fruit, dried fruits, figs, dates. The possibilities are endless here. It was hard enough for me to just settle for 4 different versions. Actually, I made 5, but I'm going to show you 4 of them now. The first one is called Berry Blast. It's made with fresh or frozen berries, so you put berries in the base and some bananas on top. Number 2 is a chocolate peanut butter version. We'll put in some cocoa, some dark chocolate that's been chopped, some peanut butter, and some peanuts for garnish. Then there's a Bircher muesli version for my son. He's allergic to nuts, so we will put almonds into his and some chopped apple. And then there's my favorite, the banana bread version. It will have extra bananas and some toasted coconut on top, and of course some nuts. Use walnuts or pecans if you can. Of course you can use hazelnuts as well. I cannot have those, so it's really difficult in our household with all these intolerances. And you can also make a version with dried mango. I made this before, dried mango and coconut flakes. That one turned out really nicely as well. And then I have something to show you. This is, actually I call it the better Nutella, especially for my son who is allergic to nuts. This is tahina, and if you mix it with a syrup, in Turkey they mix it with grape syrup, you get tahina pekmez. It's a Turkish kind of syrup they eat for breakfast, and it is super delicious to spread on your baked porridge. Let's get ready to rumble. As you can hear, I'm frying bananas now, so let me take you guys closer to show you how it's done. If you have super ripe bananas, which I didn't, you don't really need to bother with the maple syrup, but I'm going to add a bit for some nice caramelization. Fry them and then mash them with a fork. Time to make the base. 1.5 cups of the flakes. Now mind you, I'm making a version of 5 pots. I want to have some left over, but I'm going to give you the measurements for 4 in the description box, okay? The chufa. This is actually ideal if you want to make meal prep. I'm not a fan of meal prep. I think food should be prepared freshly, but sometimes our lives are busy, and this bake is a perfect thing to do in meal prep. You can eat it even 3 days after. Don't keep it longer than 3 days, but 2 or 3 days are fine. It actually tastes even better the next day, I find, because the aromas, come together. So, chufa in. Now we need a teaspoon of baking powder, Where is my sieve? Here. Pinch of salt. Teaspoon of cinnamon. Teaspoon of vanilla. Or two. Especially when you're working with the spelt flakes, you kind of want to overpower the healthy flavor of the flakes. You don't have that problem with oats so much. All right, now some flax, 2 tablespoons, to add a bit of healthy ALA, alpha-linolenic acid. I don't know if that's the way you correctly say it in English. As a vegan, you should have your daily flax. And now for the wet ingredients. Plant milk, about 2 cups. Well, let me give this a stir first. Mix up the dry ingredients. Well, some wet ones in there too, like the vanilla paste. Shouldn't have done that. 1, 2. And the bananas Foster that I've mashed up in my Tamamix. As you can see right here. Bloody mess, but so yummy. Puts me right to the Caribbean. Mix it all in and be right back. Don't worry if it's very runny because the flakes will soak up a lot of liquid as they bake. And now I'm using my ice bowl machine here to dump out the dough into my little pots. And what I haven't shown you yet is that I've already prepared the add-ons because it's easier to mix it that way. If you first put your base in and then put your cocoa on top, the cocoa is going to be everywhere, all over the place. So the first one is the berry blast. Added some berries and some pecans into this as well. Now a bit of dough. And mix it. And I'm going to put some banana slices on top of this one after we're done with the other ones. Next, I have to be careful not to cross-contaminate because of my son's nut allergies. Next, we're going to do the one for my son. I put some ground apple in there. It turned brown, but don't worry. If you use lemon, it doesn't taste good. I tried that before. So just some apple and some almonds. And you can add a bit of cardamom. That would give it a nice flavor too. Mix it up. To clean the spoon first. Make it nut-free. And this is the Porridge muesli with apples and almonds. Super delicious. Going to put some almonds on top for garnish. There we go. Nice. Love it. I don't know about you, but I could eat nuts and seeds all day if I was allowed to eat all of them. Okay, Porridge muesli. Next up is the chocolate peanut butter. Now, the problem is that my peanut butter seems to be misplaced, so what I showed you earlier was cashew butter by mistake. I apologize for that. So we're doing this with imaginary peanut butter. You just put the peanut butter in there and mix it with more of the base. Or just add more peanuts and stir it. See, if you do it this way around, it will turn out much better. No cocoa flying all over the place. There we go. See, it's turning brown and chocolatey. You could eat these raw if you like, of course. It's your usual porridge, but today we'd like to try something different, so baked porridge it is. some chocolate on top and garnish with some peanuts. There we go. Peanut butter and chocolate. And the last one, I put some nuts in here. This is the banana bread version, and also some extra cinnamon. And we're going to garnish this one with coconut flakes, or yeah, coconut chunks, whatever you call it. Stir it. Finishing touches now, some cacao nips on the peanut butter and chocolate. And my favorite, these coconut chips on the banana bread version. You can actually put them on anything. They're so yummy. But don't eat too much. You know, coconuts really can raise your LDL cholesterol. You don't want that. Okay, these babies, I'll show them to you again, will go in the oven now. I've just removed the oat-free baked porridge or porridge baked 4 ways from the oven. Have a look. Berry banana, banana bread, peanut butter chocolate, and bircher muesli with apple and almonds. Now, last but not least, I wanted to show you how to make this delicious tahina packed mess to go on top. All you need to do is mix some tahina with some kind of syrup. Now, you can use maple. The Turks use grape syrup. That would be the original tahina packed mess. But I want to keep this as low in sugar as possible, so my favorite sugar replacement of all is this yacon syrup. It's pretty expensive, but it's very, very healthy. Only has 35 grams of carbs per 100 milliliters, so there's really nothing that can match this one right here. It has an earthy flavor, almost like rose, so I think it's very, very yummy. It's different. Give it a try if you can. And you could use maple syrup, of course, or rice syrup. Now just mix about equal parts of tahina with the syrup. You can add hot water if you want a runnier consistency. So this is pretty thick here, almost like honey. It's actually almost like peanut butter, but it tastes so much better. Trust me, once you tried this, you will be hooked on this forever. Now, I think to make it more spreadable, we could put on some hot water, or if you have the hot porridge bakes, you could just drizzle it on. Let's try adding a bit of water, what that looks like. Takes a bit of patience, and then you get your runny consistency, and you can just drizzle it on. It has a perfect consistency now for drizzling. Try it on the berry banana. And my favorite, I think, is the berry banana, and as I've said before, the banana bread. Which one is your favorite? Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, Veggielicious is nutritious, Veggielicious is delicious, and hope to see you again soon. Stay safe out there.